Hello everyone, welcome to Tech World with Jaydesh Murari. This is Session 2 Visual Studio walkthrough. This is the continuation of our Session 1. So please, if you haven't seen that Session 1 related to download and install the Visual Studio IDE in your system, and please watch that video for better understanding. So in this session, I will show you I will explain you everything related to Visual Studio IDE because before writing the code, you must have to know about their menus, their functionalities. Then you can start your code for better understanding. So in this session, I will explain you how you can start your Visual Studio 2022 in your system, overview of solution and project creation, overview of important menu bars of the Visual Studio IDE, overview of framework and versions, and how you can open and close your solution successfully. So when I'm talking about successfully, then it means when you will write your code, then you must consider your code should be saved and everything should be saved properly and not, then you will go and close your window. Visual Studio ID window. Okay, so let's come on our screen. I will explain you everything in detail. So as I already shown you the steps of download and installation of Visual Studio in our previous lesson, so it is already available in my system. So I will just go and write here Visual Studio in the search bar. Okay, so here you can see in my system Visual Studio Code as well. So related to Visual Studio Code, I already have created a video, so I will not much explain about that. But in future, if you require, then please write in comment. I will explain in the future as well. Currently, I will go with Visual Studio 2022 that I installed in our previous session. Okay, so this is the project that I have created recently. So it is available in our recent project. So I will please ignore this particular project because I will show you everything from the scratch. So this is the window that will open when you will click on the Start Visual Studio. So here you can see the Get Started. So inside the Get Started, you will have the clone or repository option, open a project or solution, open a local folder, and create a new project. So currently we will go with create a new project, and also we have option continue without code. So I will explain you everything. Yes, in our case I will go with create a new project with but because the purpose of this session is only walk through about the all options of the Visual Studio IDE. So the first option is clone a repository. So in the future, if you will go to create or implement anything in your real projects, then obviously the most of the real project will be available on the centralized repository, either it is Git or VSTS. Okay, so that URL you will have, and that URL you will use in the clone repository option, and you will fetch whatever code in the centralized repository, and you can start your work over there. Another is open a project or solution. So when it is saying the open a project or solution, so the solution extensions would be .sln. So for example, once you will click on that, so if you will have the .sln project in any of your folders like C, D, or anywhere, okay, so you can just select that particular project and you will click on open, so that project will be open. Another one is open a local folder. So what is the difference between open a project or solution and open a local folder? It means inside the project and solution, it will only pick up whatever project is associated with SLN extension, but inside the open local folder, it will collect any of the folders which is available in your local system. And the next one is create a new project. So create a new project means if you want to create any project from the scratch. So these all option is in case if the project is already available. I mean, it is for the existing project, but this option is when you want to create a project from the scratch, then you will click on create a new project. So in our case, we will click on new project. So here you can see the create a new project recent project template. So recently I have taken a template for with the help of console application. So this is showing here. Okay, so here you can see you have the different options. Okay, so Here you have the all language options. So inside C Sharp, C++, F Sharp, JavaScript, Python. So all languages is available. So whatever language you want, you can select here. But in my case, I'm going to explain the C Sharp. So I will select the C Sharp only. And platforms. So here you will have the platforms like OS, iOS, Linux, macOS, and everything. Okay, and the project types. So what project type you want? Like, do you want to create the Blazor, Cloud Console, and desktop, anything? So you can select from here. So to keep consider. So currently, I'm going to learn about the C sharp. So for C sharp, the console application is very important because inside the console application it is very clear, clean, and easy to understandable. Once you will clear everything related to C sharp in console application, then you can go with any of the project type like Blazor, ASP.NET, and any other mobiles and everything. Okay, so we will just select, and also you have the options if in case you are not able to see the project but you want, then you can select here the console application. So here you will have the C sharp console application, the project for .NET, and the window. Okay, so here you can see we will have the .NET framework, and this is the .NET Core. By default it is available .NET Core, and we will have the .NET framework. So currently we will select the latest version of .NET Core. Okay, so in our case, we will go with console application. So here, when you will select search the console applications, so you will have two options for the console application in C Sharp, the console app, and this console app is .NET Framework. So if you want to go with .NET Framework, you can select it. Or by default, it is available with .NET Core. So currently, I will select it and will go with the next. Okay, so I mean the default setting for the project creation is project name and the solution name. So here, when you will write any name like hello world. Okay, so when you will write the name of your project, then by default solution inside the solution name it is by default available. So by default this checkbox is not checked, and if you will not checked, then it means place solution and project in the same directory. Okay, so this is the by default situation, and I will show you what is going on when you will select this particular checkbox in the next project creation. Okay, so this is the hello world, and we will go and click on next. Here by default setting is okay. So this is the by default setting. Uncheck is the by default setting. So here you can see you will have the .NET 7, 6 and 7. So please keep consider in your mind, if you are using Visual Studio 2022, then only you will have the .NET 6 and .NET 7. Otherwise, not in the previous version. .NET 6 and .NET 7 is not available. So .NET 6 is long-term support and .NET 7 is standard term support. So I will explain related to long-term support, LTS and STS in future video. Currently, we will go with the by default setting uncheck. Okay, so it is completely written. Do not use top level statement. So what it means, I will show you further. I will go and create this project. Okay. Okay, so please keep consider in this video, I will not explain much about the internal framework or coding programming because this is the session only for the overview of the IDE. In the next session, I will explain you everything. I will just go overview about, give the overview about that. So this project is created. So I will again create a project with the different options and everything. Okay, so I will click on that create. Now I will go and click on console application. We'll go and click on next. So here I will write the hello one, hello world 2, 1. Okay. So again here you can see inside the solution name, we will have the hello world 1, but in this time I will click on this checkbox. So it means place solution and project in the same directory. I will go in my location, I mean here, and will show you what is the difference between the previous project creation and this project creations. So this is the hello world one. Now I will click on next. Previously, I haven't checked this particular checkbox, but in this time I will check. So I will show you the differences in between. Do not use the top level statement. It was the previous, but currently I will use the top level statement. Okay. So once you will click on that, create. Now the both project is ready. Okay. So okay, so the previous project is without any top level statement. So when I'm talking about top level statement, so it is like namespace, class name, and the method name. So I will when I will explain the coding and programming things, then I will explain you what is the namespace and program and main and everything. Okay, so because this is a by default feature of .NET 6, so it is not required to write the main function or namespace a class name. It is by default executed when you will click on that hello world. So please make sure I will not go much about in terms of programming in the sessions. Okay, now we will go to learn about the menu bar. So here you can see the file. So as usual, if you want to open any project, then you will click on that open and everything is available here, so you can go and learn one by one according to your requirements. So currently it is I mean just new, open, close, these type of things is required, but in future when you will go step by step, then you will learn everything. So the same as with and the edit, the different options available inside the view. So view inside the view you will have the different things like in some case when you will cross the solution explorer which is available in the right section, and again you want the same thing, then you can go inside the view, and here you will have the option called solution explorer. Once you will click on that solution explorer, then again that solution explorer will be appeared. Okay, same things in the future. If you want to push your code in your git repository or team explorers, so here you can click on that team explorer. Like once you will click on that team explorer, you will have the options related to Microsoft VSTS configurations and all. The same thing related to the Git and everything. Okay, so it is related to Git. So by default, inside the Visual Studio 222, Git is available. The project, which is all things related to project solution and everything built. So once you will create your applications, you have to build your application. So for example, currently I have created a project, and we will just go to clean the project. Once you will clean, then currently I have the one project, so that it is showing the clean one. It is depend on how many project is available in your solutions. Okay, again I will go and click on build. Okay, so here you can see we will have, so build is successful, and here you can see the build and rebuild things is available. So in the future video I will explain you what is the difference between build and rebuild. So debug test, when you will write in the future, when you will write the unit test in your Visual Studio or in your project, then you will go and click on that run unit test, analyze tools. I mean tools is related like you want to increase or decrease the font, and like for example if you want to highlight that particular lines of code, then you can go inside the tools and you can disable or enable these type of things. You can change the color of your Visual Studio editor under the options. The extensions, I mean you have the chat gpt extensions, and you have some like fcc extension, fine code coverage, these type of external extensions you can manage from this window. So window is basically, I mean the real examples of window options. For example, I have this menu is available here, so I mean by mistake I have put here. Okay, and again I'm trying to do the same thing because this is the disturbance when you will write the code. So again I mean if you will have not any understanding how you can do it, then you can go inside the window and you will click on that reset window layout. So whatever layout is disturbed, it will be available on their specific places. So for example, in my case, I will click on that. So here, are you sure want to restore the default window layout and everything in environment? Yes. So again, when you will go and do any activity like build your applications, then that window, output window, will be available at their place. Okay, so here if anyone will want to know about what is the version you are using, so from the help under the about the Microsoft Visual Studio, you can go and click on here. You can see the my Microsoft Visual Studio community version 2022 I am using, and the all versions related things is available. Okay, now the two things is remaining, like what version you are using currently. So at the time of project creation, you have seen the project, .NET version .NET 6 it was. But in some cases, like in case of existing project that you haven't created, then how you can identify that what version it is. So there is the two options. So first is, once you will click on that particular project, right click on particular project, you will go inside the property. Inside the property, you will have to see the target framework. So here .NET 6 I am using. If you want to change that target version, you can go and click on .NET 7 as well, .NET 5 as well, whatever requirement you have. Okay, and this will be changed. And another way to check it, you will just double click on that hello world. So here you can see that net 6.0, it means .NET 6.0 project it is. Another related to version is like what CISA version we are using currently. So for that, you will right click on that and you will go on the property. Under the property, you will have build options. So once you will click on build options, and here you will scroll little bit. So here you will scroll a little bit, and I think we need to go inside. Okay, inside the advanced, here you can see the language version. So currently we are using C sharp 10. So by default, C sharp 10 is available with .NET 7. If you will use .NET 6, if you will use .NET 7, then there is C sharp 11 is available with that. So this is the basic walkthrough of the Visual Studio IDE. So the purpose of this session is, before writing the code, you must know about, at the basic level, you must know about for which functionality you need to go where. Okay, once you will usually use that particular Visual Studio ID, then day by day you will able to understand the all functions and menus which is available here, and also the shortcuts and everything. In future video, I will explain you the uses of everything. What is the shortcuts, required shortcuts and everything. Okay, so that it's related to this particular session. If you feel you have some understanding gap, then please write in comment. I will back to you. And if you feel this video looks helpful to you, then please like and subscribe and share with your friends. So it will motivate us to keep and create the more informative video in the future session. Okay, thank you.